George Reeves. The name was synonymous with hope, strength, and all things good. He was Superman, leaping from the black and white screens into the living rooms of America. Children adored him. Adults admired him. He was a symbol of unwavering heroism in a world grappling with post-war anxieties. Yet, behind the iconic cape and the dazzling smile, lay a man wrestling with his own demons. A man whose life would end in a shroud of mystery, as baffling and tragic as any supervillain's plot. Reeves's journey to becoming Superman was an interesting one. Born George Kiefer Brewer, he was a struggling actor trying to make his mark in the cutthroat world of Hollywood. His chiseled good looks and imposing physique landed him roles, but none that brought him the fame he craved. Then came Superman. The role was initially met with hesitation from Reeves. Would he be forever typecast? Would he ever be recognized for his true acting abilities? He took the leap, unaware that this iconic role would become both his blessing and his curse. The Adventures of Superman was an instant success. Children were captivated by the Man of Steel, and Reeves became a household name. But the success came at a price. Reeves found himself increasingly typecast, struggling to break free from the Superman image. Behind the scenes, he was a complex man, battling personal demons and yearning for recognition beyond the cape. Little did anyone know that his story, much like his on-screen personas, would end not with a triumphant flight, but a tragic fall from grace. June 16, 1959. The air hung heavy over Benedict Canyon, a wealthy enclave nestled in the Hollywood Hills. The night was alive with the sounds of cicadas and the distant hum of the city settling down. Inside 1579 Benedict Canyon Drive, a party was winding down. Among the guests were George Reeves, the star of Adventures of Superman, his fiancée, Leonore Lemon, and screenwriter Robert Condon. The mood was light, the conversation flowing, but beneath the surface, a current of unease seemed to ripple. Around 1:30 a.m., a chilling sound shattered the night's tranquility. A gunshot. Condon and Lemon, startled, rushed to Reeves' bedroom. They found him lying in bed, his body sprawled on the bed, a single bullet wound marring his temple. A Luger pistol lay nearby. Panic seized the room. What had just transpired? Was this a horrific accident, or something far more sinister? What followed was a flurry of activity. Police and paramedics descended upon the scene. The house, once filled with laughter and conversation, was now a crime scene. Whispers of the tragedy spread like wildfire through Hollywood. Could Superman, the symbol of invincibility, really be gone? And if so, who or what could have possibly vanquished him? The news of George Reeves's death sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. Fans grappled with the loss of their beloved Superman, struggling to reconcile the image of the invincible hero with the grim reality of his demise. The official investigation, led by the Los Angeles Police Department, moved swiftly. Within a week, a verdict was reached: suicide. The LAPD's conclusion was based on several factors, primarily the circumstances in which Reeves's body was found. A suicide note, it was claimed, was found in the bedroom, although its whereabouts remain a point of contention. Witnesses at the party testified to Reeves's seemingly despondent mood earlier that evening, citing his struggles to find work outside of the Superman role and the recent cancellation of his engagement to Toni Mannix, the wife of MGM executive Eddie Mannix. The LAPD theorized that Reeves, overwhelmed by personal and professional setbacks, had chosen to end his own life. The suicide ruling, however, was met with skepticism from the start. Friends and colleagues found it hard to believe that the seemingly optimistic Reeves would resort to such a desperate act. Furthermore, several inconsistencies in the evidence and witness testimonies began to emerge, casting a long shadow of doubt over the LAPD's hasty conclusion. The whispers started softly at first, then grew louder, questioning the official narrative. Could the Man of Steel, who had cheated death countless times on screen, have truly succumbed to such a tragic and solitary end? Or was there something more, something darker, lurking beneath the surface? Despite the LAPD's swift verdict of suicide, whispers of doubt began to circulate almost immediately. Too many details about the case didn't add up. Too many questions remained unanswered. The inconsistencies, like cracks in Superman's seemingly impenetrable fortress of solitude, were impossible to ignore. One of the most glaring discrepancies involved the number of gunshots. While the official report stated that Reeves died from a single self-inflicted gunshot wound, neighbors reported hearing 3 distinct shots that night. Why would a man intent on suicide fire multiple shots? And if Reeves had indeed fired 3 times, where were the other 2 bullets? Adding to the suspicion was the delayed police call. Although the gunshot was heard around 1:30 a.m., the police were not summoned until almost an hour later. Why the delay? Leonore Lemon, who was present in the house, claimed that she and Robert Condon, in their shock and confusion, had first contacted their lawyer and agent before calling the authorities. This delay, however, struck many as highly unusual and raised further questions about what transpired in that hour between the gunshot and the arrival of the police. Furthermore, the position of the gun added another layer of complexity to the case. The Luger pistol, supposedly the weapon used by Reeves, was found at his feet, an unusual location for a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Experts argued that the gun's position, coupled with the lack of gunpowder residue on Reeves' hands, suggested that the scene might have been tampered with. The absence of a gunpowder residue test on Reeves' hands only deepened the mystery. Why would such a crucial piece of evidence be overlooked in an alleged suicide investigation? The more the case was examined, the more the inconsistencies mounted, casting a long shadow over the LAPD's suicide ruling. What initially appeared to be an open and shut case was quickly unraveling, revealing a tangled web of unanswered questions, peculiar circumstances, and a growing suspicion that something sinister had taken place that fateful night in Benedict Canyon.